Alrighty, guys, gals, non-binary pals, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking on the video. Hey, if you're watching this video and you think to yourself, look at these lovely people here on the side of the screen, I would love to join them. We would love to have you. I stream on Twitch every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. There is always a link in the description that you can click on to be here while I'm live. Usually I am live right when I upload one of these videos. So if I just upload the video, check if I'm live. I might be live and you can be here while it's happening. But also, if you enjoy the video, I would love a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, that would be awesome. All right. Today, we are going to be talking about a creator that many, many people have been asking me about for quite some time. And it's time to talk about them. So we are going to be talking about Salem Tovar's recent video all about body positivity and the goods and the bads about that. Now, we're not going to be going over her entire video. So if you want to watch the whole thing, it will be linked in the description so you can check that out. There are just some things I wanted to talk about, the overall ideas that she speaks on. So I didn't want to go over some of the stuff that she, kind of speaks on. You guys should check out her video if you are curious about it. Okay. So we have a shortened version of her video here that I'm going to be talking about, but let's go ahead and check it out.
Hello everyone, it is me, Salem. Welcome.
Oh, whoopsies. I have it on. I had it on 2x speed. That's what I always do to get through the videos. All right, here we go.
Welcome back to my channel. How are you guys doing? I am extremely nervous.
It's crazy. I did not realize that elves had channels now, and I think that it's a really cool thing. It's just really good that there is more diversity in YouTube, which makes me very happy.
This for today's video because it is on a topic that I've always wanted to talk about, but I've always avoided because I don't want to get canceled. Because let's be honest, whenever it comes to people expressing a slightly different opinion on popular things, they get dragged to filth on Twitter. And I personally do not want to voluntarily put myself through that. But
the thing, this is very true, and this is something that I think is actually kind of sad, is this actually, it seems like happens with women more than men, especially on this topic, right? When it comes to body positivity and whether you like it or don't like it, if you have an opinion that is a little bit different, people get really upset. And it seems like women get dragged more than men, because it almost seems like as a dude, people expect you to not love body positivity. It's like, whatever, you're a guy, you don't love body positivity, that's normal, whatever, right? But if you're a woman and then you're also being like, maybe I'm not the biggest fan of this, it's almost like it's worse and you get treated worse for it. So I can understand why she maybe hasn't wanted to talk about this.
But I am going to talk about it anyways because I can. So I just want to say this and get this out of the way. In this video, I will not be talking about how body positivity promotes or glorifies unhealthy living. I think it's very extremist thinking, and that argument really has no basis. And I think that argument is often used just to body shame and put people down who are part of the body positivity movement. These people are trying to spread a message of loving yourself and accepting yourself. And guess what? Bodies are not products. So there could be no way of them glorifying or trying to promote that unhealthy living.
I've always said this, right? It's really frustrating when people are like, oh, you're promoting obesity, you're promoting this thing. And it's like, bro, if it's just a fat person existing and they're posting a photo of them existing and then you're commenting saying you're glorifying obesity, I'm sorry, that's just ridiculous. It's such a, in my opinion, it is such a dumb argument to make that it's not worth even giving that person the time of day, in my opinion. But, whatever.
That argument is incredibly lazy, and it distracts from the fact that there is actual real criticism in the movement. And like I said, I'm going to try to be as open and unbiased with this conversation as much as possible. So yeah, if you were expecting me to talk about that, I am not. However, I do think that there is a lot of aspects of this movement that needs to be talked about, dissected, and changed. Body positivity can turn incredibly toxic. I am not even like a body positive influencer. That's not the main, focus of my content. The main focus of my content is to just have an open conversation on uncomfortable topics.
This is actually a good point that she makes, is any time you are anything outside of maybe the the quintessential beauty standard, and you are a content creator, you are making content, so say you're a little bit heavier or whatever it might be, right? And you are making content, people will just put you in the box of, oh, they're a body positive content creator, and it's like, no, if you didn't ask to be put in that box, it's kind of rude to just shove someone in it, you know?
Or topics that are trending. But whenever I have done even anything slightly remotely close to beauty, I'm immediately called out for being a hypocrite. And it's so annoying. And it's so stupid. I've had videos where I dress up and do a bunch of makeup, I do my nails, and I talk about topics such as beauty standards and just trying to have a conversation around that. And people will literally comment that they're not gonna listen to me because how can I talk about a topic of loving yourself if I myself am wearing makeup?
This is such a good point, because it's like, where does it end, right? It's like, well, I saw that you put on clothes today, so how could I take advice about being body positive from someone that isn't nude? Someone that is covering up their skin. How could I take advice, right? Or something someone would say is, how can you be body positive if you've gotten this surgery? How can you be body positive if you have makeup on? How can you be body positive if you have elf ears? How can you be body positive if you, whatever it might be, right? That argument, it's just like, where is the line drawn of like, okay, you can do these things and be considered body positive, but once you cross this line, now you're no longer body positive because you did XYZ thing. Where is that line? The answer is, it depends on the person that you're asking, in my opinion, right? That's one of the biggest problems with body positivity, is that everyone has a different definition of what it means to them. And therefore, someone might say, oh yeah, that's totally being body positive. And then someone else might be like, no, that's not body positive. Are you kidding me? How could that be considered body positive? It's just so convoluted now.
Comments get brought up all the time in my videos. Since when did someone wanting to wear makeup, all while spreading a message that BBLs can possibly kill you, automatically make that message false?
For those of you that don't know what BBL is, that's Brazilian butt lift. All right. So they're a very dangerous procedure that have been gaining popularity, that a lot of people are getting, but also a lot of people are perishing because of them. So that's what she's talking about there.
Faulty because of them wearing makeup. Like, it's not correlating. How is me having a sponsor that I want to share with my followers about just cleaning your skin and doing basic hygiene automatically make me wrong about a topic I did extensive research on?
How can you be body positive when you put on deodorant today, all right? Your body wants to make that stank, all right? And you need to let that stank fly for everyone around you to see. If you cover that stank up, no longer body positive. Unbelievable.
That's exactly what I mean by the body positivity movement is so toxic that as soon as you step out of the line of your message, you're basically told that you're not worth being a part of that movement anymore. This is like the crux of the video, in my opinion, at least, like what is interesting to me. So this is something that I've heard time and time and time again. It's something that Megan, who I've done a couple videos on her channel, that she talks about is, at one point she was in these body positive, like Facebook groups and all these different groups. And then, she had some health scares. She decided to lose weight. She actually got weight loss surgery. And then she was like talking about that in these groups. And then they all turned on her and were like, you're not allowed to be in this group anymore. And they like kicked her out. Right. And these are things that's not an isolated incident. That's stuff that has happened to a lot of people that found like genuine friends in these groups and really found connection in these groups, that then they start maybe talking about, oh, I had a health scare and like, I feel like I should really lose weight. People get really upset at them and they almost like they'll kick them out, or they'll be very hostile towards them, where they're no longer now body positive in the group's opinion because they are deciding to lose weight, right? This is something that happens a lot. This is not like an isolated incident. Everyone is body positive until someone wears makeup. Everyone is body positive until someone decides to shave. Everyone's body positive until someone wants to correct something on their face through plastic surgery. And it's absolutely ridiculous because at the end of the day, your body is your body. and you're allowed to do whatever you want with it. And you still deserve to be shown respect and be accepted into this movement and not lose your place simply for wanting to do something that makes you feel better. I'm a person that's very feminine presenting. I love getting my nails done. I love getting my lashes done. I love makeup. That is just how I choose to express myself. And I don't think that me expressing myself like that is in any way a contradiction to me also being able to preach how I love my body and how other people should love their body.
It's not, and it's sad that you even have to say this, in my opinion. It's sad that you even have to make that distinction and, like, even bring that up, you know? I don't know. It's just frustrating because, like, I'm not trying to go on a rant, but, like, one of the most prevalent people in body positivity is Tess Holliday. And, like, Tess Holliday gets tons of surgeries. You know, a lot of her photos are touched up. She has a bunch of tattoos, which some people might, oh, you're covering up your skin. That's not body positive. Like, it's just like, it seems like there is no, it's just like this line that is moving for every single person. Sorry. Okay.
It's absolutely ridiculous to hold people to these impossible standards and to force people into a box. If I want to wear makeup, if I want to express myself differently the very next day, that's my business. But unfortunately, that's just not how it is. The body positivity movement has become very toxic and doesn't allow people to express themselves, and the pressure to conform is intense, even for the very people who are huge advocates for the body positivity movement. Kelly DeVos, a writer and advocate of body positivity, has openly spoken about body positivity as an advocate and how incomplete this movement is. Kelly talks about how the movement focuses way too heavily on feelings and forcing people to feel good towards themselves and not reality. You're basically not allowed to express yourself. The positivity movement doesn't allow people to change. The body positivity movement makes it so the only way that you can continue receiving love and support is to stay the same, to remain stagnant, to not change. Because as soon as you change, you are automatically cut off from receiving that support. And
this is very true. I mean, these are things that so many people have talked about, right? Like, obviously in our world and the stuff that I talk about, it's like weight loss. It's if you lose the weight, you're no longer body positive. But the thing that's frustrating is like if you end up gaining weight, all of a sudden that is body positive. It doesn't make any sense. And I'm not here trying to glorify weight loss. I'm not here trying to say everyone needs to lose weight or everyone needs to be thin. But why is it that if you lose weight, that for so many people is not, I'm not saying everybody, but for so many people, they see that as not body positive. But if you gain weight, the same people will say, go do your thing, you body positive queen or king. Why? It doesn't make any sense. Like, it just seems like it just is up to the person to decide what is body positive and what's not.
Love of that community. And this is actually something that a lot of women have been open about on YouTube before. They talk about how they got a health scare and then they immediately started going into a health kick, and they got kicked out of many of their groups because they were being called hypocrites. When it comes to Tess Holliday and the people who politicize their body, in a way it's not necessarily bad, but it is bad when you start ignoring the reality that comes with being in a position of power and influence. Body positivity is a very surface level movement, and having these affirmations of that you are truly beautiful no matter what people say. But these affirmations and these conversations still put emphasis on how it's important and how you look. That how you look has value, which honestly makes sense as to why the body positivity movement isn't for everyone.
So it's like what she's saying here is it's so surface level because it's still based on beauty and beauty standards. It's funny because Tess Holliday's whole thing is F your beauty standards, but it's still all about how you look. Like, that's the focus of body positivity for so many people. It's not like being positive about your body, really. It's about thinking that you are beautiful, right? Like, that's what, like, people think of when they think of body positivity. But sometimes maybe you don't think you're beautiful, and that's also okay, right? Like, you don't always have to think that you are beautiful, because then it makes people feel bad that maybe just can't get to that point of always feeling beautiful. Especially if you deal with body dysmorphia, all of these things, like, you are going to feel bad that you are not positive about your body, when in reality, your body and how you look is so insignificant to so many things in the world, right? Like that's what so many people focus on, how you look, and it's body positivity still, even though they're trying to break beauty standards, they're still focusing on how you look, how your body looks, not how it functions and how it moves and the things that it can do for you, right? There's so much more to your body than how it looks.
Body positivity has gotten such a bad rap that there are now influencers and celebrities who are actually going against the body positivity movement and going towards something else. Not entirely shutting down the conversation, but using it to create a different perspective and encouraging people to love themselves in a completely different way. That immediately come to mind is Taylor Swift and Jamila Jamil. Instead of body positivity, which encourages phrases like, I love how I look no matter what you think, they believe in phrases that are more like, I love that I'm able to think, and who cares what I look like. And this actually stems off of something called body neutrality. Body neutrality means taking a neutral perspective towards your body, meaning that you do not have to cultivate love for your body or feel that you have to love your body every day, because you may not always love your body, but you can still live happily and appreciate everything your body can do for you. Body neutrality stresses a lack of attachment to how exactly your body looks at any one moment and discourages time spent fretting about your physical self. This phrase has been used since.
So this little like graphic I think is pretty cool. So it says body positivity versus body neutrality. And it says body neutrality, she's like looking at her legs in a mirror and she says, I love my legs because they help me run. And then so that's body neutrality. And then body positivity is, I love my legs, cellulite and all. They are beautiful, right? There's just a little bit of there's a difference there.
Since around 2015. But in 2018, Jamila Jamil made an Instagram account called I Weigh. So instead of the body positivity test holidays hashtag, which is F your beauty standards, Jamila went about it in a way where women were posting pictures of themselves and would put hashtag I weigh and had them talk about things that they value in their life and how they value themselves as a person. Jamila has actually been incredibly open in being against the body positivity movement, although she says that she benefits from some privilege and that the body positivity movement can bring awareness to how bigger people are treated in America. She also says that body neutrality can allow people to just not focus on their bodies altogether.
So for me personally, like I think these things are great, and I think she goes into it a little bit as well. I think a mixture of both is good. Like I do think, especially for, you know, women and people that have grown up with your body being such an important thing that is brought up so much, it's very difficult, and this is even for dudes too, it's very difficult to completely separate yourself from how your body looks, right? I understand that. So if you can do it, more power to you, that's dope. Do I think I could do that? Probably not, right? But I do think that there are like things that you can get from this movement or from this idea, right? You don't always have to go 100% in on everything, right? You can grab little things here, little things there, find what works for you, and that's kind of, you know, what I've done and what I'm assuming most people will do. Like, I feel like most people, it'll be very, very difficult to completely stop caring how they look, to completely not care at all, right? Like, that's very difficult. Some people can do it. I'm just saying, realistically, I understand that that's a hard thing to do.
Instead, can try to find confidence in things outside of their looks, which can be just as powerful. And there is a huge misconception that body positivity and body neutrality cannot coexist, because people think that body neutrality means that it discourages confidence in yourself, which is also not the case. The whole point of body neutrality is that it helps to detach your self-worth from the perception of your appearance. Body positivity, although had really nice intentions and messages and aims, somewhere along the line it did get corrupted. The body positivity movement can make people obsess over their appearance to the point where they forget that there are other aspects of you that are far more interesting than how you look. Even though body neutrality was kind of made to negate the body positivity movement, I do believe that both of these can be practiced simultaneously. Of course, if one works better than the other for you, go ahead and stick to just one. But I truly believe that both can and do have really good aspects that, again, can be simultaneously practiced. Body positivity promotes strong self-esteem. It also encourages people to love their body, and it also encourages others to care for their body and to not be so mean to it. Body neutrality emphasis.
And like, I think here, obviously, this video is mainly focusing on like the negatives of body positivity. I think that it's important to say, like, it's not completely negative. I think it's gotten very negative for certain people because of, one, like how far it's gone. And personally, in my opinion, because so many people have gotten on board and started to make money off of it and started to make their own brand off of being body positive, that once you start making money and making a brand out of something, you start trying to define what that is, and you start trying to define who can be part of that thing. So I really do think the reason body positivity has become so toxic in the way that it is because, and hey, maybe I'm wrong, because so many influencers got on board, made body positivity their brand, and decided, I am going to say who is allowed to be part of my brand and who is no longer allowed to be part of my brand, right? That's where I think the issue is. As far as the underlying message, being positive about how you look, that's not like a bad thing, right? It's just become so many influencers' entire brand is how you look and being positive about how you look. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's my opinion.
Is what your body can do. It also encourages mindfulness, to look at your body as a vessel rather than what it looks like. So when you mix these two, it almost gives you this recipe of accepting your body how it looks now, but also accepting that your body can change whenever and that that's okay, and to find value outside of that when you do feel dissatisfied with how you look. I personally am no stranger to talking about body issues. I have opened up before in the past that I have severe body dysmorphia, but I remember talking in that video of how something that has helped me is finding my worth outside of the realm of my body. I'm just not a person that can fake being happy with myself. When I do feel emotions, I just really go into them. I don't like pretending that I'm okay, and I don't like pretending that I'm not allowed to have emotions and really feel them and go through them. So in my experience, body positivity has not helped me at all. But instead, things that have helped me in my journey with self-acceptance and being okay with my body has always been to focus on things that are outside of me. I am a person who's very overly critical about myself, how I look, and what I do. But I always have to constantly remind myself that how I look does not tie into my value. I've said this before in a video before, I don't remember which one, but I've also said it when I had an interview with Curology. And I say it all the time to people in my life, but it's so true. And that is, your confidence should come from the bare minimum. No, like literally the bare minimum. It's really weird and hard to practice those things because we're taught that like the bare minimum are things that are just like, oh, who cares? Like you just have to do that to do it. We're taught not to find value in the small things, but the way that I've viewed it is that.
So kind of what she's saying here, and like what came to my mind when she was like making these points is just gratitude, like having gratitude for the little things, for the small things, like waking up, right? Okay, I'm alive. That's dope. You know, I had a bed. Had a bed that I was able to sleep on. Like, I know these things, they sound cliche, and I think a lot of us have heard that, oh, be grateful for the small things and all these things. But I do think that there is a genuine, it can genuinely help you, especially if you are like, I'm someone like me. I have anxiety and I overthink things and I get way too in my head and be like, oh man, I went to the skate park today and I couldn't land anything new and like my whole day is ruined and blah, blah, blah. But if I'm able to take a step back and I'm able to be like, well, at least you were able to go to a skate park today, right? At least you were able to, you had a skateboard to skate on. You had shoes to use on the skateboard. Like little things like that. It doesn't always work. And I'm not saying it's always going to work and it's always going to be perfect. And it's freaking hard in the moment when you're having a bad day and you're struggling. But if you're able to take a step back and just be grateful for the little things, it really does help a lot, right? And then if we are to relate that to our bodies, right? Like, okay, like, my legs, maybe I'm not the happiest with how they look, but I was able to hit a new PR in the gym, or I was able to go on a run and hit a new PR, or not even hit a new PR, but I was able to go outside and use my legs to go on a run. Like, I'm grateful that my legs I have two functioning legs that work how they're supposed to, and I don't have any issues there, right? Like little things like that really can help a lot. Again, I know that it's easier said than done. Trust me, I struggle with it consistently all the time. But hearing this really did help me, because when I watched this whole video, I was actually having quite a bad day. And I watched this video, and this part actually spoke to me because I was like, why am I so upset right now? And it made me kind of rethink my situation. So, yeah.
If we start to value and truly appreciate the small things that we can do for ourselves, we can eventually cultivate a confidence and appreciation for ourselves when we're at our lowest. Because you're always meeting the small standards, no matter how horrible you feel. To me, my bare minimum is the fact that I am breathing and I am alive and I am able to like sleep and stuff and drink water every now and then. Good job. And for me, it sounds silly to say out loud, but it has helped me a lot. But also being open and honest with yourself. Where are you in your journey of self-acceptance and self-love? If it is not your time to self-heal, I do not recommend forcing yourself to heal because it's just not going to work. Really, truly spend time with yourself and also start figuring out what makes you feel valued. What outside of the realm of your body or relationships help you connect truly with yourself. For me, I've always valued the fact that I'm incredibly artistic. I can draw, I can paint, I can make music, and that is something that I truly appreciate and have always loved about myself. And I find a lot of confidence in the fact that I'm very good at it. And when I focus more on that, I think about, wow, my hands can create that, and I love my hands, and my hands are attached to my body. I would never talk bad about my art, so why would I talk bad about my body? I think one thing that I really don't like about the whole body positivity movement is that it's incredibly surface leveled. And when I say that it's incredibly surface leveled, what comes to my mind is just the interactions that we have with people on a daily basis. If you take a selfie with your friend and your friend looks at the photo and says, God, I look so ugly in this photo. Obviously, the way that we are taught by society to respond is to say,
You're supposed to say, yeah, that's right. Get that fixed. No, I'm just kidding.
say, no, you look beautiful. And to me, I've always hated that type of response because it's very, why are you sad?
So there's a thing on the screen here that says there are two ways you can give someone a compliment. One, you can compliment someone on something that is not within their control and is not deliberate. Or two, you can compliment someone on something that is within their control and a result of deliberate effort.
You're beautiful. It's like, for me, it's definitely a very huge band-aid solution when instead body neutrality, not only can it transform our relationship with ourselves, but also how we approach other people. Instead of giving compliments of, don't be sad, you're beautiful, and giving genuine compliments like, I think you're a great person, or I appreciate this about you, or thank you so much for being my friend. It really gives value to the inner core being of who we are. And those are the type of compliments that truly last forever. Again, if the body positivity movement is something that helps you, go for it. If you feel like body neutrality is something that's better for you, then go for it. And the biggest reason as to why I made this video is to spread awareness on body neutrality, or how you can use both to really help yourself. Because unfortunately, I do feel like the body positivity at this moment in time has just been, it's just not working.
It's caca is what she's trying to say. It's caca-dookie. Those are the words that weren't coming to her mind there.
Just not working, all right? But I want you to take away from this video that there are different options for your journey. Sometimes it feels incredibly hopeless, but there is hope. And if it helps at all, I think that you're an amazing person. That got real deep at the end.
So that's the video, obviously. Like I said, I think that mixing the two is totally, like, you can totally do. I think I really love the points that she made, especially about just how body positivity is so surface level. And even if you're not super positive about how you look, in my opinion, you can be body positive and lose weight. You can be body positive and gain weight. You can be body positive and get a surgery. You can be like, if that's what makes you happy, that's fine. But again, like, at the end of the day, how your body looks and what, like, people see really doesn't matter that much compared to so many other things in your life. And, like, so being neutral, body neutrality about your body, which again I think is very difficult, like being completely neutral, but just trying to find other things to be happy about and to base your worth off of other than how you feel about your body is probably a good way to go. But all in all, I thought it was a great video. I feel like it was very insightful. She did a fantastic job. Again, this wasn't her whole video, so make sure you watch the whole thing if you're curious, because there's some things that, we just didn't talk about here. But yeah, make sure you check that out. I really, really love this video, though.